And welcome back. We're picking where we left off last time in Victoria 3 in our Prussia run. Where, well, to be fair, we're not really Prussia anymore. We're Super Germany on a slow civilization mission to get as many pops as we can with as high a standard of living as we can. That's kind of our slight internal goal. We'll see how well that goes. Could probably use another animal if we actually want to use the fleet, but it's close enough to ideal. At some point I need to turn more of the labor-saving PMs on just to free up more people. And then I'm mainly building in places because we don't have welfare at the moment. So I'm trying to build in places where we have peasants. So the peasants have jobs. And so that people then come backfill the peasants, sort of. It's kind of the plan. Okay, we're going to want a little bit more government bureaucracy after doing that. Any place need tax? Westphalia wants one. We're going to need a little bit more than that, so we'll put like 10 in Austria. And apparently we need some railroads in places. Okay. And then another thing we might actually want to do... Oh no, the trade merchant marines look fine. I even have a tariff on them. So merchant marines are apparently just cheap at the moment. Someone else is overbuilding merchant marines, probably. There's electrical generation. If I'm going to actually do electrical generation, I probably want steam turbine. Go straight to the coal-fired ones. Yeah, let's take up steam turbine. We're gonna do like steam turbine, combustion engine, telephone. Maybe into radios. We know right now that no one has electrical generation. So, other than maybe watching to see if we get any spread, we'll probably be the first person making telephones, meaning we can make and export all the telephones. The world can buy German telephones. Supporting the French worker. Yeah. Make them have more. Ever increasing influence. And we'll 6 profit opinion loss. And part of this is standard of living going up. Well, GDP going up makes our standard of living going up as our owner class grows. We're making glass because presumably we need a bunch of it for our construction sector. Not too worried about that's probably about the right level for those. So once this queue's down, we'll probably stop building that. We're going to drop the price of porcelain as a drawback. If porcelain gets much cheaper, if it drops below -20, I'll probably start turning PMs off to raise glass production. In fact, this is probably one of the places we're spending a lot of money, aren't we? Subventions... 28,000 is not that bad for an export. And then we've got the same thing on the guns. Yeah, so I could make... maybe an argument for making fine art. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to drop the fine art to... we're not going to pay for it to be exported. We'll come back and revisit that after that's adjusted. A pretty hefty demand for coal. And we're currently exporting, so that definitely means there's a worldwide demand for coal. And we got some pretty valuable coal regions. So let's do, like... How much is that? 12,000. So like 150 coal mine levels. I believe it's those three that have our modifier for it. Oh, we've got no peasants there. We've got no peasants there. I'll probably go based off where we've got peasants. Try to up-convert the peasants. So it's like 120, 150. So that should be a good start on the coal. Another thing we should be going around and doing, and this is probably what I'll jump to next, is applying rail transport everywhere. Just to save the workers. And to make our rail industry a little bit more profitable nationwide. Suppose I could also go globe-trotting a little bit, spreading the power block. Twitch chat's asking telephone company next. Possibly. It depends on what we have for our company options the next time the company comes up. And then paper and universities increase your literacy. We're high enough on tech that a little bit more universities wouldn't necessarily be. Actually, no, we're overcapped on universities. Germany starts far enough ahead on tech that there isn't very much value necessarily in having a lot of overcap. And I think with the paper and universities, you might also be referring to the paper company. I know if you get prestige paper, that's more throughput. But I don't have the DLC, so I don't have any prestige stuff. But yeah, if you had the DLC, prestige paper would definitely be a thing to do. Definitely on board with that. Prestige and tools as well. Where was that? Oh yeah, so it's going to go invite you to the power block. Let's see. I negotiate investment rights. No. You really don't want to give me investment rights. You really don't like me. That's a different problem. That makes sense. Send some diplomats to improve that. Some sort of thing here in Luxembourg. Will you give me investment rights? I feel like I have investment rights. It's not showing up on the list there. Oh, you're a subject. That's fair. And your overlord has investment rights, and I already have investment rights in your overlord, so I don't need to worry about that. Okay. You reasonably like me. Do you already have investment rights with you? Yeah, I already have investment rights with you somewhere. Okay. I'll pay you for the power block. Like 1,000? 2,000. 3,000. Yeah, you'll do 3,000. Do I have power block with Sweden? No. And they're willing to basically just give it to me if I ask. There we go. Now goes... Oh, I have all three minutes. Let's swap from internal trade Which, okay, is helping a little bit with the convoys and the infrastructure, but I'm not worried about that. Let's swap over to this one, which is trade advantage, trade capacity, and ignore trade penalty from lacking interests. So that should help us trade globally. That party, that party, that party, or that party. Which one do I want to win? We've got the unholy party of trade unions and industrialists here. Because of course we do. Because you're a reformer, okay. Reformer might actually work for me. No, because you're a market liberal. We don't want both the market liberal and the reformer in the government at the same time. Grain League, we don't want the Internationalists to win. Moderates would be fine. Okay, let's try to empower the POZ if we got that as an option. Yeah. Probably raise taxes. Yeah, accuse them of revolutionary sympathies. They probably do. What's the state of the rubber? Little expensive. If it was cheap, I would upgrade the clothing, but it's not. What government do I have? So right now I've got the Agrarians, Conservatives, and Free Conservative Party in government. As a parliamentary republic, which is why we have such a number of parties in government, under universal suffrage, multiculturalism, freedom consciousness. I could probably actually move to. Yeah, no one's opposing that. You know, we'll do that. Moving on from freedom of conscience to total separation. Got guaranteed liberty, protected speech, and so on and so forth. I think the only thing I need. Oh, I forgot we were going to try to get enough of tenement farming. We'll do that after we're done with total separation. Yeah, I'm not that worried about getting an extra company. Yeah, they did change the. Granted, no way am I getting it onto corporate state. Everyone's opposed to it. Corporate state gives you a corporation. Make sure no XM corporation. Probably if I want more rubber, what I need to really be getting is I probably should... society techs. I need to pick up malaria prevention. Then I can colonize the interior of the Congo better, and that'll be a bunch of rubber. Grassroots support for a law. That's, oh, because you're thinking it's coming from the positivists, which might be coming from the positivists. Do I want to make the positivists more powerful? I think the answer is no. Yeah, because this is the last law we really want the positivists to pass anyway. So we're just using the common good to calm the masses. get a new government. Looks like the Unholy Alliance of Trade Union and Industrialists won the election. They don't have to let them into government. No, there's nothing saying I have to keep them out of government either. But yeah, looks like the intelligentsia is leaving government. Yeah, so the question is, do I want to let these guys in? Do I have property to women? I'm pretty sure we have property to women. Yeah. Oh, I suppose I could overwrite you with protectionist. At least make the child labor go away. Or no, you've got that on the other one, don't you? Yeah, you do. Child labor's on there. That's not the solution there. Swap you to radical. No, that wouldn't solve that problem either. Oh, I suppose bringing you into government either... Yeah, let's bring them all in government. They're going to help with getting us into commercial agriculture. And then we'll have the sort of government I don't really want until the next election. Oh, and now no one supports total separation that we're in the middle of. Okay, total separation has failed. Fine, we'll rival Spain. Okay, appeases them. Then laws, come over here. I want commercial agriculture, please. Just gonna pass real quick. Okay, if I invaded you, who would come to your help? America, maybe France. Maybe France. So positive here implies that America is probably on board with joining. Everyone that's got a negative is going to have to bribe to come in, so it depends on what the bribe would be. I probably should have saved before I pressed that button, but it'll be fine. Coal-fired plant. Okay, so we are going to do power. That's power plant. That's probably what we want. Let's get telephones. And after telephones, I'll probably try to run malaria prevention. Yeah, it's a little bit ahead of time. We have some ahead of time reductions, so it should still do pretty quickly. Then, as far as power plants are concerned, let's build one of these everywhere. Oops. That place has got two. then we'll subsidize them and swap them into coal. And we'll begin our electrification. Okay. Doing that more because we're negative bureaucracy than for the taxation capacity. Okay, we've got all the laws maxed. No one came to help them, so they're... I'm surprised America actually didn't try to weasel in there. Okay. There's someone over there to help. Send over one of the larger armies, because apparently this is a little bit too close to being a fair fight. We don't need to be defeated by the local unrecognized power. That would be a little humiliating. Oh, we're getting to the point where I probably need to just build more construction sectors. Yeah. Okay. Construction sectors... Build like about 10. Where's our most peasants? Bohemia. Build 10 in Bohemia. Oh, standard delivery is up to 15. So I haven't necessarily been stating everything down here, have I? Yeah. There we go. Where's that button I'm thinking of? State actions. Yeah. Generally don't trust this button, but we're gonna use it. Over here in the colonies. So now the PM should be roughly right. Yeah, roughly right. Graphic stuff. No. Full fired. Subsidized. Captured light and shadow. Yeah, the progress towards film. Down management. Grab the inactive chance, just get it done quicker. Nope, and I need more government admin. I remember the days when the Mosque of Genge here was OP. Isn't anymore. It's now a local effect, and it's really weak at a local effect. Okay, those power plants are coming along pretty nicely. Let's start working on improving our rail network. We're actually, no, I was going to do that electrification, wasn't I? part of that electrification. Electric streetlights. Electric sawmills. And electric fences. Okay, let's start with the electric streetlights. So we're going to come in is come down here, scroll down to you, turn. Oh, actually, I'm going to need all those power plants in first, so we'll put something on after the power plants. Because we need them all to finish first. What to put on after or before them? We've got a pretty large demand for art. That's with the new art tech kicking in as well. So we do like 30 art academies. Or do we have the most peasants? There we go. Build some art academies for the peasants to work in. Discord within the Petit Bourgeoisie. 82% chance for that finish. Oh, and I'm probably back at the point where I should build more construction sectors. Build me the 12 in Bohemia. Probably need even more construction. Okay. Yeah, I probably should have got involved in that war. What happens if I reduce the neutrality? Oh, Modena is your subject. Yeah, what happens if I reduce your your independence? I can't do that while we're in the... Oh, your liberty desire is too high for that anyway. It'll be fine. Okay, I need something in the queue. Build rubber. Probably build rubber. They don't have the telephones, but we're going to want the rubber for the telephones. Telephone maker, or rubber makers. This. Yes. There we go. Also, tell the places they can have a little bit of free hand in buying more if they need to. Hell on Earth, apparently. That's what healthcare is for. No. We have multiculturalism, so we're not coming up with multiculturalism by a demand like that. I'm just gonna say no. Because I can. There's the telephone. How many telephones will I have personal demand for? Guaranteed. $1,470. So that's about... Let's say we want about 20 telephone industries. Let's just build 20 telephone industries in Central Hungary. And then we're going to pop over to Society Tech. I'm going to force... Not that one. That one. Malaria prevention. It's going to take us just under 2.5 years. Just over 2.5 years. 2 years, 8 months. We'll get malaria prevention. That'll allow us to very rapidly try to colonize most of what's left of Africa. We'll probably do central planning after that. And then for the telephones, that hasn't shown up as a good yet. Telephone makers is on this tab. We're gonna subsidize you. And then when you were done, we're gonna let there be a subvention on exports to discourage anyone else from making telephones. Interesting that they're going after such a... I think that's one of the smaller ones. I don't know. Still pretty small. Less than 1 million people. Okay, power plants are basically done. Let's go ahead and swap to electrics and everywhere we can. And then we can come down here and figure out how much electric we're short doing that. Surprisingly, not very much. There we go. Took a moment up. Sure. Okay. So this is 50 each, so we want to build 7 there, 6 there, 5... do 5 there. 2, 2, 2, 1, 1. Like so. And then when those are done, we'll go for the next electrification. There's a commercialized agriculture. What do I do for my next law change? Child labor. That's a little bit of a gamble. We've got a pretty high stall chance on it. That would be one way to raise the rate which we're teching. Do compulsory primary school and then max the education institution. Let's try for that. So now Modena is my protectorate, because apparently we had a protectorate of a protectorate there situation. Let's try to improve relations with our subjects. Oh, did I start making them states? No. Let's fix that. For Africa, it's going to take like 20 years, but we got plenty of time to make African places states at this point. Bring them glorious healthcare and such. Feminism. Okay, more oil in some place, but it's not super important. Standard living's up to 15.1. course, as we state more people, our literacy goes down, right? So that's a fun bit there. Population's still upward trending. Power is hopefully helping drive the rubber price down. At the point we're getting a little bit semi-dependent on imports. And we're on electric industries already. Okay. Pen and paper. Yeah, let's just say wealth can't be the burdening factor, and then we'll just build more government admin to cover the burden. I suppose I should put the power plants before the electrical industries, because we're not really in a rush to get the electrical industries done. Oh, did I get any of the telephones done? Or I did that swap? Nope. Oh, looks like someone's giving the Ottomans a bad day. Dutch talent. No, I don't need your general. Unless his talent is the game thinks the person is. I don't think they are. So confirm there. We'll cycle a week. And we'll revisit the power shortage. That looks fine, fine, fine. Okay, I think we're good. Enemy of my enemy. Sure. Oh, we're probably at the point where we're going to build more construction. Like another 15. Clothes might be worth building. Apparently there's pretty good demand for art. So probably build some art. 40 levels of art again. Based on peasants. We have enough literacy that anyone should be able to become an artist in our country. Okay, the power plants should be done. We'll give them a couple of weeks to cycle. And then we'll check up on the power state. Okay, so telephones in the market. They are subsidized. We're going to put low subventions for exports. And you are subsidized, right? Yeah. Yeah, and their probability is going to go up and down, up and down, up and down. As the demand fluctuates. Because we're the world supplier of telephones, meaning if we can get them exported, we make money. Make lots of money. making good work on that malaria prevention, which again is going to let us colonize a lot faster in this interior area where everyone's penalized otherwise. That's probably enough time. Do we have any electrical shortage after that change? No. So let's make an electrical shortage. The way to go about that is rural, logging camp, everyone to electric saws. Cycle a week. And now there should be pretty heavy demand for electricity. Yep. Okay. Again, with that, the telephone should mostly be online. And yeah, we're mostly making profit, even though we're barely using them locally. Okay, I say barely using. The pops are demanding 1,000 personally, and the rest is being exported. Okay, one of our states is having logistical issues. Please build me a railway. Fix that. Oh no, the one in here apparently it was natural disaster presumably going on board. Dahomey still wants one, so I'll go and build a railway in Dahomey. Oops. Check unavoidable injuries. Germany gets confronted with the workers during the enactment. It'll be a little bit slower, but we'll get more success chance. SPD. Is that the party I think it is? Social People's Democrats or something like that, yeah. Mobilize the union to vote for them. Or make the union more powerful. Let's make the union more powerful. The rabies vaccine. Nice 2% mortality for 20 years. Could build more telephones, because apparently well, I knew I was going to be the world supplier of telephones, so that's not surprising me. Let's go grab another 10 telephone makers in our telephone maker location. And another 50 art academies. $1.1 million unemployed people. So I think you need to be making jobs faster. Do you hear that too? $6,000 to the radio. Open markets. There we go. So SPD wins the election. Need to reform the government, and yeah, SPD is the party. Not to be confused with the Conservative Party. Okay. Horse zebra. I don't pronounce German very well. I'm pretty sure that's a German last name. So we could go for worker protections. We probably won't. We might go for regulatory bodies. Yeah, and you're for compulsory schooling. I think you're for compulsory schooling. Find it. Yeah, there you are. Children's rights, compulsory schooling. You're gonna move in the workplace, so we can get quite a few reforms going. Oh, I need more bureaucracy. Joining the scramble for Africa. Bring up the maps and the straight edges. And we got 2 techs back to back there. Okay, they don't get involved. Yeah, we'll go central planning next. Investment banks gave us a new corporation. So I could go electrical for the power plant throughput. Am I going to get another corporation at some point? Yes. Okay. We'll save the next one for the car company, and we'll make this the electrical one. Nouveau. North Germans become obsessed with fine art. We'll have to be making more art in the future. In the meantime, colonization just started to go faster. Now, everywhere that had severe malaria, we can now colonize at full-ish speed using our very large population. So that means if we're quick enough, we can get most of the African interior here. South African interior. The Berlin Zoo. The noble tiger the resilient brown bear, or the majestic lion. We might be getting this as an option just because we have some Africa. We don't have to take in a foreign animal for our flagship animal. Okay, so I think we're electrification for the previous one's basically done, right? Yeah, okay. Bohemia wants another one, but that's easy to fix. So that was you. So the next and the final electrification? No, it was electric fences. Okay. Back over to market, back over electricity, cycle week. Stuff to the top. You've got two. Say put two there. One, one. We didn't have a lot of livestock ranches anyway, so we don't need a lot of electricity to fix that. Okay. I suppose from an electrification standpoint, we're waiting for more electricity checks. Like electrical capacitors. And the electric railway. But we're probably going to go combustion engine next. To central planning. And I still need more government bureaucracy. Yeah, that got it. Got us positive. We want to be a little bit more than positive because we want to... Yeah, because we want to expand our colonial affairs. We need almost 13,000 surplus. Dancing on wheels. Okay, raise the standard of living for temporarily, but raise it nonetheless. Okay, let's just go up to 50 here. I'll probably that's enough, I think. What to build next? Is there a really good place to get me tea or coffee? Glass? Yeah, let's do glass. So, about 90 glass factories. 90 glass works. Okay, have enough bureaucracy, click that button. Of course, when compulsory primary school is done, we're going to want more government bureaucracy. Sure. Background deals exposed. Bureaucracy, yeah, be fine. Well, I suppose in 19 months we'll have central planning, which is another big bureaucracy boost. Do a promotion. Sure. Rogue Imperialist. It didn't even drop us below 50. Okay, that's fair. my colonies. Our multicultural German multicultural. Let me think of the laws. Multicultural, parliamentary, universal suffrage, guaranteed liberty. Germany is has apparently decided they have a mission to civilize the sub-Saharan Africans here, South Africans. Yeah, scrap the draft. That's XCOM luck for you. I think we hit the 3% twice in a row. New money. A new world, material without being real. +2, standard living for the upper strata, but they also expect it. Yeah. Probably at the point where I should build more construction sectors again. Yeah. Let's quickly crank out. So we're based on where we've got some. Well, we'll just max out the Schleswig-Holstein ones. There we go. Making more glass. Maybe at the point where we can make more coal pretty profitably. You know, to suppress the price of grain in our market, I'm actually going to drop the import tariff on grain. Compulsory primary school is now done. Oh, we must add a temporary bureaucracy hit while we were passing them along. Because our bureaucracy is now pretty full, pretty available. Any other laws I want to pass? Probably an argument going on to protectionism, off of mercantilism. That would at least remove the penalties. And it's a bit of wash from a revenue standpoint. In fact, actually, it's a revenue buff going into protectionism. Sure. Then in this tab, come over here, click on here, click on you. 6 to 7 weeks, we'll have maxed out education, and hopefully the education will go rising. Place where I can get another colony going? Yes. In multiple places, I think. Yes. Nope. There's trench works. So I suppose that means it is time to upgrade all the armies once again to the new and fancy equipment. We are now the most, or maybe been for a while, I haven't been looking. But we are... There we go. We are the most prestigious nation in the world by about 600 points of prestige. Our GDP is nearly 4 times that of Great Britain, and our standard of living is comparable. Probably because our population is about 4 times that of Britain. That makes sense. If we've got 4 times the people and our SOL is the same, then the population has to be 4 times as much. Yeah. What to put in the queue? Could do more paper. Actually, making more telephones wouldn't be a bad idea, because we've already worked out we need more telephones the moment we finish the current tech. Yes. Okay, let's queue up another 20 electrical industries. And yes, you can see the private queue is going like, yeah, no, electrical industries. They're profitable. We should make some more of those. Okay, advance the progress. Actually, this is probably a good place to go ahead and pause and take the break for the night. So if you're watching on YouTube, there'll probably be a part up tomorrow. Hopefully there won't be any more bloopers for the rest of the run. We can play out the run without having to do any major save scumming. But we're definitely on a roll. GDP is going up. Line is going up. We're working on getting the literacy to go up. In theory, with the new institution changes, our education access, I think, is going to go up to 62% before base wealth affects it. I think base wealth is 2% per standard of living. So we're looking at a point where we should be trending towards like 92% literacy in the next 50-something weeks, next year or so. So the literacy should be going up. The standard of living, we're working on trying to get that up. You can see I'm hovering over this. We're starting to make up for the fact that Austria wasn't as good at getting the GDP up as I was. As it's becoming a little bit more even in the green. Population-wise is still sort of focused around the border. Silesia is one of the places I built up the industry pretty heavily, so it's getting quite a bit of migration, so that's why it's probably the darkest population location in our Europe. If we come down to... Yeah, we don't have the richest populations in Africa. That's maybe an argument to bite the bullet and try to annex Sokoto. We'll see how we feel after we've done our unification of the South African territories here. Because a lot of this is going to be adding population. Maybe not a lot of population. Like there's a 250,000 there, 250,000 there, 1 million there, so on and so forth, right? And we have multiculturalism, so we accept them all. As we work together, standard living up, that's raising the number of loyalists. And our economy is growing stronger by the week. Are we at the point... Let me come look at tax law. Our economy is slightly favoring the wealthy because the dividends are still slightly higher than the income tax. Even though the income is. But that's fine. That's probably what we want if we actually want to maximize standard living growth. One of the things we might be trying to do in the future is, if we start running out of good RGO access, is trying to build abroad so we can build up the owner class in our country. That's another way to raise the standard of living. Though, that's a little bit slow, and it requires a lot of nationalization, which can be a little bit hit or miss. You can see all the things they're building there. Investment pool is pretty healthy, apparently growing, though it's waiting for funds, so it does have all it needs to build what it's building right now. We got taken about 6% of the queue. So every once in a while, we're going to have to add more and more and more things to build the build queue, or more and more construction sectors so the build queue can expand with the growing ownership class. So yeah, I think this is going well. We probably have a stream or two left. It depends on how the game gets lag-wise as we get closer to the end, if it slows it down. I do play these out to the end. And we're definitely getting to the point where we can do a little bit more pushing for stuff in Africa, I think. One thing we may run into at some point is more of an oil issue. We haven't started car production. Cars are going to be something that consume a lot of oil. On the other hand, what's America's opinion of us? We've got pretty good opinion with the Russians. I don't have investment rights with the Russians, but the Russians wouldn't be completely opposed to that. If I get investment rights of the Russians, I can probably expand the Baku oil fields for the Russians, which would result in me owning their oil field, which sounds like that will be productive. Similar sort of thing, I have Transylvania here. So I actually own a lot of the oil in Europe. Oh, mostly European oil. It's just the Baku oil field I don't own. But I'm on good relations with the Russians. And the Russians own Persia. So that means I'm on good relations with the Persians. So we can finagle some oil production if we need to. Let's yeah, you did incorporate that. Yeah. So yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, they'll be put up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, this is where this stream is going to end. Let me bring up the schedule. It's about to hum and har about what I think tomorrow is, but I forgot what tomorrow is. So if I bring up the channel schedule, I can go over what the channel schedule is supposed to be up in the future. So today was Victoria 3. Tomorrow will be Terra Invicta. We've been scouting and claiming, sort of prospect claiming on Mars in that game, so tomorrow we'll probably be setting those mines up. If you're watching on YouTube, you can probably sneak over because the first couple of those videos are probably uploaded by now. It should just be the last of the next stream that won't be uploaded by the time you're listening to this on YouTube. But yeah, if you're watching on Twitch, Terra Invicta tomorrow. Day after that will be Field of Glory Empire, where we're continuing to play as Sparta in the Persia DLC. Specifically, actually fighting Persia, because Persia is a big, powerful player, and we need to defeat them if we want to win. So we're fighting the Horde. I think we've killed over 100 Persian units, and there's more than 100 Persian units still in the field facing us. So that fight will continue. The day after that will be XCOM, and I'll be trying to see if I can not have the entire party TPK'd every 4th mission. We shall see. And then the day after that will be the return to this. I'll have to update the schedule, because I tend to update the schedule for the next cycle of the game after the game is over. So as soon as I go ahead and save and bring the stream down, I'll go ahead and update that, so Victoria 3 is on the schedule. So that's the upcoming schedule for Twitch. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. If you're watching on YouTube, assuming, again, nothing happens, there should be another stream up for you, or another part up for you by tomorrow. Because if everything's gone according to plan, the stream for which the part for tomorrow comes from should have been about the night before last. Which means if you don't have the patience to wait for tomorrow, you can probably sneak over to Twitch and the VOD will be up already for you. The YouTube recording is the local recording, so it should be in 1080p at 30 frames per second, so pretty reliable video quality for watching, whereas Twitch gets whatever the local internet can handle at the time. Which sometimes is 0, so sometimes the Twitch gets bits missing, or sometimes Twitch will get throttled down to like 40 or something like that. So if you want reliable quality, probably YouTube's the best place to watch it. If you want to leave comments, like now would be a good time if you want to get a comment responded to. Twitch is probably a little bit better for live commenting, although YouTube is probably better for asynchronous ones. So if you aren't watching the video live, or watching the stream live, YouTube is probably the better place to comment. If you are watching live, this is probably the last time for you to get any comments in for me to respond to, so if you have a comment you want to see something in the game, feel free to get it in. I'll leave the stream up for about a minute after I stop the YouTube recording. And with that, I think I've gone ahead and covered everything. So I'm going to go ahead and end the recording and end the stream. So if you're watching on... yeah, I've already gone over that. So with that, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next one, and bye for now.